Well, the war in Gaza has taken a severe toll on journalists, with the number of casualties only rising. At least 31 journalists have been killed since October the 7th. 29 of them were Palestinian, 4 were Israeli, and 1 of them Lebanese. Numerous journalists have been injured, with 9 reported missing or detained. Not only are journalists being targeted themselves, but also their families. Al Jazeera's own Wael al-Dahdouh's wife, son, daughter and grandson were killed in Israeli strikes. Well, let's speak to Sherif Mansour about this. He's the Middle East and North Africa Program Coordinator at the Committee to Protect Journalists. He's joining us from Washington, D.C. Good to have you with us, Sherif. Gaza was not a great place for journalists even before October the 7th, and it's only gotten worse for them ever since.
Unfortunately, we have been documenting past Gaza wars and the toll it took. And over the course of 21 years, we counted 13 journalists killed in Gaza out of 20 overall. We have already exceeded double that number in 3 weeks. Unfortunately, the absolute majority are Palestinians, because they were basically the first one on the front lines. They have no exit or safety haven. And many of them have reported not just losing family, colleagues who also were killed with their families in their homes. So, of course, this is unprecedented for this region, for this conflict, but also worldwide, since we started documenting cases of killed journalists in 1992.
You say Palestinian journalists were the only ones on the front lines, the first ones on the front lines, but they're also the only ones on the front lines right now, because Israel is not letting anyone into Gaza, of course. Is Israel deliberately targeting these journalists, these Palestinian journalists in Gaza and their families?
We cannot verify that independently. We are still investigating circumstances of each of those cases. We're tracking live the casualties for obvious reason about safety for journalists who continue to cover from there and who are flocking to the region right now to cover how risky it is. But we have our database, and in each of these cases, we explain from as much first-hand sources, families, colleagues, media outlets, those circumstances. And to our comparison, we only say journalist is murdered if we can prove a lot of evidence, including past threats, tracking and targeting and other ways. And that, and previous wars, out of the 20 journalists that we said were killed covering the conflict by IDF fire, only 3 we classified as murder, including Shireen Abu Akleh last year and Yasser Murtaga and Mahmoud Abu Hussein in 2018 when they were covering the Gaza protests.
What is significant about this current conflict and its coverage is that, in previous escalations, in previous wars, some foreign journalists were allowed into Gaza. It's not the case anymore. Why is that?
Unfortunately, we have been seeing a dwindling number of international media and international journalists in Gaza over the years, because at every past Gaza wars, media outlets were bombed by Israeli airstrikes. 2012, 2014, and just 2 years ago, we saw Al Jazeera and the Associated Press building, and at least 18 other Palestinian media outlets being bombed to the ground. And of course, the fact that no one was held accountable in all of the journalists killing, the 20, not just Shireen Abu Akleh, and the fact that no one was held accountable for bombing these media offices have changed the calculus about the risk for a lot of international media organizations, international journalists to be there.
Sherif Mansour, thank you for talking to us about this. Sherif Mansour is the Middle East and North Africa Program Coordinator at CPJ, the Committee to Protect Journalists. Thank you for your time.